Alan Brazil says he was in absolute shock watching that Brann disaster. Barry Ferguson defends the captain as Tavernier slammed and told to shut his mouth by Celtic icon. And now the dressing room's being told to feel the pain or get out the way. Meanwhile, whispers of Champions League winner to Rangers are heating up, and it's not fantasy, there's a real link. You'll want to stay with this one because it only gets wilder. Right then, sit back because there's no sugarcoating what's been happening. You deserve honesty, passion, and the full truth about your club. For those who don't know James Tavernier, let me tell you something about Rangers' captain. Those are Barry Ferguson's words, not mine. And after that disgraceful 3-0 battering in Norway against Brann, there's been no shortage of talking points coming out of Ibrox. Danny Rohl's debut couldn't have gone worse, and it's exposed just how deep the issues run in G51. Now, Tavernier's comments after that defeat, well, they hit a nerve. He called out the performance, and he was right. But here's the thing, you've heard it before, haven't you? Season after season, Tavernier's been involved in these collapses, and while his words sound passionate, many of you are asking, where's the fire when the ball's rolling? Barry Ferguson, to be fair, came out swinging in his defense. He does care deeply about this club and its fans. He's desperate to bring success back, and you got a sense of that from the passion in his interview. But Ferguson also made the point, it can't just be a handful who feel that pain. It has to run through the whole squad. And that's where the problem lies. You can't carry a dressing room on passion alone. Now, let's not forget, it's not just internal voices chiming in. Celtic's very own Peter Grant had this to say about Tav. Last night, that is the night he should have shut his mouth. He was awful with the ball at his hands, at his feet, and his positional play. That's a former rival tearing into your captain on record. And let's not pretend he was wrong about everything either. Tavernier's defending has been a glaring weakness. He's great going forward. He's already scored 4 and 8 league games, but at the back, constantly caught out. The first goal against Brann, where was he? Nowhere near it. Rohl's got a massive call to make. Does he stick with Tav or give Max Aarons a real chance? Because when you've played over 500 minutes, won fewer than half your duels and been dribbled past 5 times, well, that's not the stuff of a leader at the back. And the Union Bears clash after the Dundee United game, that sums it up. Passion in the wrong place at the wrong time. The fans want bite on the pitch, not just bark in interviews. Rohl's now got Kilmarnock coming to Ibrox, still without a home league win all season, 13 points behind Hearts, and already staring down another wasted title chase. And if this team can't respond now, under new management, when will they? Is it finally time to strip Tavernier of the captaincy and give the armband to someone who leads by example on the pitch, not just with words after another embarrassing defeat? Right, let's talk about this feeling of debt, and not the kind that's written in pounds and pence. Midfielder Connor Barron came out after that disgraceful 3-0 pumping in Norway and said it straight. We owe everyone. You, the manager, themselves, everyone involved with Rangers. And to be fair, he's right. One game into the Danny Rohl era, and already you're watching the same sorry movie. Missed chances, slack defending, heads gone. Brann third place in Norway made Rangers look like a pub side, and that's being kind. Rohl's barely unpacked, and he's been thrown right into a storm. The board took 15 days to name him after Russell Martin was binned off. And what does he get as a welcome gift? A performance so flat it sparked confrontations at the airport. Bergen's departures lounge turned into an Ibrox protest zone. And who could blame them? Barron admitted Rohl said it wasn't good enough. No kidding. But he also spoke about first impressions and the need to flip our heads on to the weekend. That's all well and good, but talk is cheap now. You've heard this script too many times. What's worse is that teams like Kilmarnock are now eyeing up Ibrox like it's a soft target. Former Rangers, man Lewis Mayo even said it. Maybe we can tap into that frustration. Imagine that. Kilmarnock coming to Ibrox, not to survive, but to exploit the chaos. And he's not wrong, is he? With no home league wins, yet this season Ibrox has lost that fear factor. The opposition feel the blood in the water, and instead of fearing the noise, they're feeding off the nervous tension in the stands. You've now won 5 out of 19 matches in all competitions. That's not a dip in form, that's a full-on collapse. And if the players truly feel they're in debt, as Barron says, then payment needs to start now. 3 points, dominant performance, clean sheet, no excuses. If these players know they've failed the badge, the fans, and themselves, why are so many of them still walking straight back into the starting 11 every week without proving they deserve it? Now, this is the kind of transfer rumor that really makes you sit up. You're now hearing whispers of a potential January move that could shake things up at Ibrox in a big way. And no, this isn't some unknown prospect from the Austrian second division. This is a Champions League winner, a proven international, a player Roy Keane once called a nuisance to play against. And you know, if Keanu's admitting that, the lad must be a handful. Timo Werner, yes, that Timo Werner, the same striker who lifted the Champions League trophy with Chelsea, who's banged in over 100 goals for RB Leipzig, and who's scored 24 times in 57 appearances for Germany. He's now being linked with Rangers, and not just through tabloid fantasy either. This one has real roots. You see, Sasha Lenzer Rangers' new performance manager is Werner's father-in-law, and where there's family, there's always a conversation to be had. According to the Daily Record's Daniel Core, this isn't just idle speculation, this is one to watch. With Andrew Kavanagh reportedly ready to back Rohl in January, this could be the first marquee move of the rebuild. Now, let's be honest, Werner's not the player he was at 23. His numbers have dipped 3 goals in 41 appearances at Spurs isn't exactly lethal, but his movement, energy, and chaos factor still there. Roy Keane even said he does affect games, he is a threat. And at a club like Rangers, where attacking patterns are so often stale and predictable, a player like Werner could unlock defenses just by being a constant pest. Would he tear up the Scottish Premiership? Maybe, maybe not. But what he would do is bring a level of experience and winning mentality that this dressing room is crying out for. And let's face it, how many times have you watched Rangers fail to break down a low block and thought, we need someone who can stretch the game, drag defenders, create space? Rohl clearly wants to build something serious, and if he can pull this off, it sends a message not just to the dressing room, but to the rest of the league. Would bringing in a player like Werner, even with his patchy recent form, be a game-changing statement, or just another flashy signing that could end up stalling like so many before him at Ibrox? If you're looking for a moment that summed up just how far Rangers have fallen on the European stage, you didn't need to look much further than Alan Brazil's face on Friday morning. The Celtic daft pundit, who usually can't get through a sentence without winding you up, wasn't even mocking this time. He was in what he called absolute shock after watching Rangers slump to a 3-0 defeat against Brann. And that says it all. When Alan Brazil is sympathizing, you know it's hit rock bottom. His words, brutal but honest. If you're a Rangers fan, I'm not sure how you would have watched 90 minutes. And do you know what? A lot of you probably didn't. 1 shot on target, 0 fight, 0 urgency, and a performance that looked more like a pre-season stroll than a Europa League group stage tie. If you didn't know better, you'd think it was a testimonial. This was supposed to be one of the easiest fixtures. Pot 4, bottom seed, Brann. And yet, Rangers were dismantled like amateurs. You've already lost to Genk, Sturm Graz, and now Brann, the 3 sides who were meant to be the winnable games. Now it's Porto away, Ferencváros away, Roma at Ibrox, Braga, and Ludogorets. You tell me where the points are coming from, because this is quickly turning from a bad start into a full-blown embarrassment. Danny Rohl, he's still got the smell of new aftershave on him. He can't be judged fully just yet. Ray Parlour even said he's got the same players and he's got to get his idea over. But even he sounded more like a man offering condolences than hope. And let's not forget, Rangers were a pot 1 team. Pot 1. Now, you're not just bottom of the group, you're bottom with 0 points. There's talk about the knockouts. Let's be serious. It's about not finishing 36th out of 36 at this rate. And look across the city, Celtic scraped by Sturm Graz. Aberdeen were torn apart 6-0, and we're sat here being the ones dragging the entire coefficient through the mud. It was supposed to be different under Rohl, it still could be, but the time for learning curves and tactical adjustments is rapidly running out. Here's the question you'll need to wrestle with. If this is the level of performance we're getting from Rangers in the supposed easiest group games, would you actually rather the club crash out now and spare you the humiliation of what Roma, Porto, or Braga could do to this squad at Ibrox? Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. See you soon.